Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. Chris here, aka Big Will, and today we have our last two games of the season. We're at home against Buxton and away against Alfreton. As you can see from the league table, we are sat in 11th place at the moment. We've won our last three games, which, to be quite honest, is one of the best runs we've had during this season. So I'm relatively pleased, to be quite honest, that we've managed to finally turn things around a little bit. In terms of everything that's been happening overall, not too bad realistically. We had a big defeat against Chester before we went on this three-match winning run. Um, we'll see if the fixtures do want to work for us, and they do not. So bear with me. Just see if we can get these fixtures to work properly, and then I can show you exactly what's been going on. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen, does it? Still a couple of glitches in the game at the moment, as you can see. It's a bit of a shame, but there we will continue to press on. We've had a few things happen off camera as well. The board came to me and wanted me to sign a new contract to the end of next season, which we have done. So it does give us the opportunity to continue doing what we are doing here. I have extended the contract of Timmy Sobavale, so he has signed a one-year extension on the same money that he was on before. And Charlie Weston has had a little bit of a wage rise, but he has also decided to stay at the club for a further year. Stafford, we are going to let his contract run out. Likewise, Richards and probably Stokes as well. Callum Hawkins, the jury is still out on. I think we're probably going to let him go also. And then lastly, Jack Stobbs. He's been a mainstay for the team this season, and recently he has actually been playing really well. But I just think we can improve in that area of the pitch. So he may or may not leave as well. I've still not made a full decision on him, but we'll have to wait and see. We have had our youth academy set up, increased in terms of numbers as well. We brought in 6 players for the academy. We brought in a young goalkeeper in Darcy Towie. And overall, as a general side of things, I don't think he looks too bad. His positioning could do with a bit of work, but he is only 15 years of age. So jumping reach is good, agility is quite reasonable as well. Good decision making with good reflexes and handling ability as well. And at the age of 15, at 6'2", he's got plenty of room to grow. Chris Crooks, we've signed in a 16-year-old centre-back for our academy. Really good jumping reach. Again, he's 6'3", really strong as well in terms of physicality, very determined character with a good work rate and decision making, and very good with his marking ability as well. 16 years of age, he could be a player that we do make use of in the first team next season, to be quite honest. I really do think he could be a very good player. They're only on youth contracts at the moment, by the way. I was debating whether to add them on to proper contracts, but the thing is, if they get approached to sign, we can potentially make more money from that, depending on who they go to. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how things work on that. Marquise Thornley is a left back that we brought in. He can also play left midfield. Really good physical attributes. I'm really impressed with him on that. And really good dribbling ability as well. Defensive attributes aren't great, so I think realistically he is probably going to be a little bit more of a winger. But we'll reserve judgment on him for now and see how he gets on in the academy. Nathan Stretton. Now, I'm particularly excited about this lad. Physical wise, he's not the best. He's 5'10", so and in terms of general keeping side of things, he's not all there really. But his mental attributes are outstanding. Determination, I'd probably want a little bit more, but he's a very exciting player with plenty of flair, good off the ball movement, good teamwork, work rate, and vision. His technique and finishing is outstanding, so he could be a player that we make use of again next season in that attacking midfield role. Alex Bayode, another really good midfield pickup for our academy. Excellent natural fitness, really determined, really strong work rate with teamwork as well. His technicals are shocking. He's got really good technique, but I'm not entirely sure what for because he can't do anything with it. He can't really tackle. He can't pass the ball. His long shots, again, he can't really shoot properly. Concentration's not very good. I am excited about him, but there's a lot of work to be done with him. And lastly, Martin Blackwell. And again, I think he could be a really good player for us. Physical wise, really good average attributes to start off with. He's only 16 years of age, good first touch. Finishing isn't too bad with a 9. To be quite honest, at this level, it is quite average for that. He can also play in central midfield, but I think realistically, he is potentially going to be a striker. Personality, though, of low self-belief doesn't fill you with confidence, but hopefully it is something that can change over time. Because I know that in like FM24, for example, their personalities were pretty much set. I don't know if, because there's dynamic potential in the game, I don't know if there's dynamic personalities either. And again, as time goes on, that also may change. So they're going to be players that we'll keep an eye on in the coming season. They may or may not get game time. It depends how things work in the transfer market. And in terms of general aspects today, a couple of changes to the starting 11. We have had Tony Weston starting on the left-hand side because Ambersley has been suspended. And we have seen some good results come from that. And looking at Stubbs' overall numbers, like I say, he's not got a new contract yet, but 23 goal contributions in all competitions. He's had a very good season. Spencer has started to score goals again as well, which is ideal. 24 goals and 4 assists for him. But 24 goals is the kind of numbers we need from him, probably regularly, if he's going to stay here at the club. The thing is, he is 32, I think maybe even 33 now. So we will need a younger option in there potentially, which of course with Blackwell coming into the first team for today's match, we may give him his debut incidentally. We've also got Tony Weston in there, and I think Tony Weston could be a really good striker for us long term, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But Blackwell takes his place on the bench, so it could be a big moment for him if he makes his debut, and we will wait and see what happens. Season finishes in April, which is a bit of a strange one to me. I thought most of the seasons would have finished in May, but finishes in April, and yet we have a lot of snow for today's match in the middle of April. Who knew? We'll see how we get on. Obviously, we've played in these conditions before when we played Marine. It's also hammering it down rain-wise at the moment. And that game finished 0-0. So hopefully we can get a couple of goals today. But we'll have to wait and see. Eames playing it into Stobbs. Now Charlie Weston knocking it back to Stokes. Really well worked in the midfield there because we did get crowded out a bit. But that's a great ball. And Jimmy Spencer has managed to score. Stokes lofting it right over the top. In, of course, what could be Stokes' last home appearance today, amongst one or two others. And he's just launched it over the top. And Jimmy Spencer, to be quite honest, I'm not too sure what the defender was doing. He couldn't quite commit. And I think because of the conditions, the keeper really was quite poor because of that, to be honest. I think in other conditions, the keeper's probably saving that for Buxton. But we'll certainly take it. A 1-goal advantage, which takes us up to 10th in the league as things stand. So we'll see if at the end of this game, if we do get the 3 points, by the way, depending on other results, we may or may not still be in with an opportunity of a playoff place. And that is another really good goal. Jimmy Spencer playing it through and Ambersley cutting in from that right-hand side did really well there, in fact. Certainly giving that support, perfectly timed run in relation to the pass that Jimmy Spencer did. Really well timed ball over the top. And we are 2 goals up now in 8 minutes. And I'll tell you what is annoying to me. We've won 3 games on the bounce, potentially 4 if we get the 3 points here. And it's come right at the very end of the season. So we're just building momentum and then the season's going to finish. And obviously there will be many changes to the squad as a whole. And another goal has been scored there, I think by Eames in the end, but it has been disallowed for offside. And we are very much the assertive team in this match at the minute. And to be honest, Buxton have got a couple of really good players in there. So I'm quite impressed with how we've started the game. Here is Ahmed into Coleman, and he's managed to dink that in, and it goes just over the crossbar. And I think, to be quite honest, one of the things that I will try and focus in on signing-wise next year is getting a full-sized goalkeeper. To be honest, Brooks has done really well when he's come into the team, but at 5'5", it is a bit of a concern for those shots from distance, for example, if he gets lobbed, it is something that can quite easily happen with a keeper of his size. He's done really well this season when he's played, and he's arguably been a little bit more consistent than Hawkins has. But Hawkins positionally has been poor throughout the campaign, so we are largely on the verge of letting him go, to be honest. It's another lovely ball over the top from Weston, and Ambersley is in behind, and he's managed to get the shot away, and the keeper has been beaten again, and we are 3-0 up now in 25 minutes, and this could be arguably the performance of the season. It's come right at the very end when there's no pressure on anything whatsoever from our perspective, but the goal difference could make a massive difference depending on how other results are going and the way the league table looks. We could be within touching distance of a playoff place. I think there was 5 points separating ourselves from the playoff place. I'll just pause there for a moment. And I don't know if this is up to date or not. I think it may be. And as things stand, we wouldn't be able to reach the playoffs. Bedford are sat on 72 points. So as things stand, there will be a 4-point gap with the 1 game to go. So I highly doubt anything's going to happen from it, but it's nice to have that potential option, you know. Of course, latest scores may change matters, but I think, as we suspected, it's going to be mid-table obscurity anyway. But if we can finish in the top half, I'd be very, very pleased, to be quite honest. And at the moment, we're just about edging into that top half. Here is Stokes with the corner, swings it into that near post. It's fallen for Spencer, back to Stokes, and now James. Chance for him to get a strike. Oh, I mean, I'm not too sure why he didn't have a go at goal there. They try and counter-attack, but Ezen Olims won it back. Ambersley into Stobbs, back to Ambersley. He's on a hat-trick, and is well saved by the goalkeeper, Young. And that's a fair point. Have we actually had a hat-trick so far in the save? I'm not entirely sure. It would be interesting to have a look at that, actually. I think it may have happened very early in the season, but I'm not too certain. 3-0 at half-time. Let's see if we can build on it in the second half. There's every opportunity for the 16-year-old that we put on the bench. His name escapes me now. But there's every opportunity for him to make his debut today, given the nature of how well this game's going. Here is Stobbs, cutting inside, trying to play it in, and Kirby easily cutting that out. He just couldn't get enough on the ball into the penalty area. Now Ty Sodje charging forward for Buxton. He cuts inside the defender, and Brooks just gets his hand to it. Very difficult conditions, but he's done well to palm it around the far post for the corner, and it remains 3-0. So I'm more than happy to bring on the youngster at this point, to be quite honest. I think we'll wait until probably the hour mark, just give it another 10 minutes or so, just to make sure Buxton don't really get themselves back into the game. But I'm really happy with this performance. And again, similar to the last few matches that we've managed to win, we've looked assertive in doing so. Here's Coleman, plays it in, and Brooks, very poor goalkeeping from him. And Buxton are back in the match. And all of a sudden, the youngster may or may not be getting a debut in the end. But Coleman, I mean, he was played in really well by the fullback. And defensively, we just didn't time our defensive line with the run of Coleman, and it ends up 3-1. It was a really good finish, to be fair, but Brooks, again, questionable. We need a full-size goalkeeper, as I've mentioned before, so we'll have to wait and see. Stobbs into James. Plays it to the left-hand side for Ezen knocks it back to Stokes. And now Sobowale into Richards. But a space for him to run into as Ambersley does really well to find him. Can he get the cross in? He launches it to the far post, and Eames is there with the header, and it goes just over the crossbar. It was a looping header, incidentally, and the keeper probably wouldn't have got to it if it had have just dipped under the crossbar there, to be honest. He had well and truly overcommitted himself at the near post, and in the end, a little bit unlucky, but we'll certainly keep things as it is if we can. 20 minutes to go at 3-1 as things sit. A couple of players just struggling slightly fitness-wise. I think we are going to pause there and make a couple of changes with 15 minutes to go. And Blackwell is going to come on for his debut up front today. Weston is going to come on for Ambersley. He scored 2 goals today, Ambersley, but he is on a yellow card. That's the only concern. and Koike we're going to bring on for Stobbs. So instead of bringing him on at fullback, we're going to bring him on as a winger and see how he gets on there. And Eames hasn't had the best of games, so we'll give the youngster Harper an opportunity as well in that attacking midfield role. He's not seen too much game time, to be honest. Obviously, it's completely my fault. We seem to have settled in with the low knees, of course, but next season it could be the difference maker, to be quite honest. And obviously, with this new affiliation we've got with Rotherham as well, it could be a really good link up that we've got with them, especially if we can get just maybe one or two players in on loan without the cost of wages. I think that could make all the difference depending on the quality. Here is Young, goalkeeper in possession for Buxton, and he's absolutely smashed it forward there. And Ty Soji couldn't beat Sobowale. Good defending from him, but Kirby picks it up, finds Brennan now. Coming down this left-hand side, swings it into that far post, and Bray is there, and he managed to beat Ezanolim in the air there, but it was too far out for him to really concern the goalkeeper. And Brooks in possession now, he launches it forward. It's not the best of kicks, but Koike did enough to put his man off, and now Ezanolim just holding on to possession and lays it back to Stokes. And now James back into Stokes again. Just need to try and break that forward line and find the space. Weston and Ezanolim, and now Stokes again. Nice little bit of passing play, but again, we just need to break that line, and we've done really well in the end. Harper lays it back, and all of a sudden Blackwell manages to make the switch, and Tony Weston on this right-hand side, he's got support arriving in the penalty area, and he's been tripped up there, and I think it's just outside the box. It is very difficult to see the lines of the penalty area, but I think I can just about see the line there. And Koike with the delivery to the far post, and Ezanolim was completely free. And from a very tight angle, it was a really well-directed header, but Chi Ezanolim has managed to make it 4-1, and it takes that nervousness there. Come on, Chris, get your words out. It takes that nervousness away, and a really good header from Ezanolim, looping it back to the far post. And it clips the inside of the post and goes in. A really good goal. And 4-1 now as we enter added time. Koike with his first assist in a Curzon shirt, and that is exactly the kind of thing that we want to see from him, whether it's at left back or left wing. So a 4-1 win, another really big boost. One of the club's own in Blackwell making his debut up front as well. And I am very, very pleased with that. An excellent win. Honestly, best performance of the season that I've been a part of, especially on screen. We've really struggled, haven't we, realistically? But that is a phenomenal performance. And we sit ourselves up to 11th place. We can't actually make it into the playoffs. We've got the away game against Alfreton to come. It's a bit of a nothing game, but I'll show it to you anyway. And hopefully, if we can make it 5 wins on the bounce at the end of the season, it will be a very good way to end the campaign. So just bear with me, and we'll be back for that one momentarily. Okay, then here we go for the last game of the season. We're away against Alfreton, who previously battered us 3-0, but they are on one of their worst, well, they're on one of the worst runs of any of the teams in the league this season. They've had a really tough time of it recently. Hopefully, we can compound that and continue our little winning run here at the end of the season. James, Eames, and Ambersley all starting what will be their last games for the club, probably. In on loan, of course, they will then be leaving. Hawkins is on the bench. The goalkeeper will not be staying with us. And Stafford, of course, will not be staying with us either. He isn't going to get any game time today. He's not particularly good enough, if I'm being truthful. The youngster that made his debut in the last game is not in the squad today, but again, it's no major problem as we're going to this as the last game of the season. Stubbs we're going to put on the right-hand side today. We're going to try him as the inside forward from that side. He's done quite well from the left-hand side, realistically, but I just want to give him a go on the right just to see. Obviously, the jury's still out as to whether he will get a new contract or not. I still can't make my mind up. But we'll see what happens in this final match of the season. And hopefully, as I mentioned before, we can make it 5 wins on the bounce, which would be our best run of the season. We've had a decent unbeaten run, I think, including draws and things like that. It must have been 7 or 8 games, maybe. Um, but yeah, hopefully we can compound the misery on Alfreton. Because, like I say, they've had a really shocking run in their last, 12, 13 games. I think they've lost in a row, something like that. So you can guarantee we're going to lose. It's always the way with these things, isn't it? But um, they are actually in the relegation zone and they could survive if they beat us. So it's all to play for from their point of view. So this is a massive game for Alfreton Town. We're going out there to try and get them relegated in effect. Ambersley switching the play right at the start of the match there, and Stobbs couldn't quite get to it. But this could be a very, very bad day for Alfreton Town, and we'll have to see how things go for them. Let's have a look. Why can't we see the full table? So as things stand, Peterborough Sports, I believe, are losing. So Alfreton, as it sits with the draw against us, will stay up. So that's a massive, massive moment for them potentially. We have a free kick here in a dangerous position. It's going to be Richards to take in what is his last game for the club as well. And the shot is just over the bar. Stokes, of course, making his last appearance for the club in at centre-back also. So you look at this first team, and we're going to be missing 5 or 6 players from this team next season. So there's a lot of work to be done in the summer transfer window. I'm looking forward to trying to get the rebuild underway. It's going to be difficult for sure, but it's a case of doing it with a little bit of discipline. We've got to be careful with who we sign because from a financial perspective, it's something that I think we could make a couple of errors with. So we've got to be very, very careful with the players that we end up trying to bring in. If we can get them on cheaper wages, that would be phenomenal. And that is going to be the target throughout the course of the summer. And Alverton just trying to push forward here at the start of the second half with Abbey. And it's a good tackle. Well, I say it was a good tackle. Eames going in a little bit too hard on him. And Alverton with a free kick here to be taken by Elliott. And this could be a big opportunity for them, especially considering the size of our keeper. And that is a fantastic free kick from Elliott and Alfreton. As I suspected, of course, they've got a lot to play for today, have taken the lead, and Brooks just isn't tall enough to get to that. I mean, his dive was great, but it even clipped the underside of the bar, so I think any keeper would have struggled to get to it. And unfortunately, we do find ourselves behind, which is very much against the run of plays. Their only shot at goal today, and we've been very much the dominant team. Can we find ourselves an equaliser, hopefully, relatively quickly? Here's Stokes with the delivery from the corner. It's cleared away, but Stobbs is in the penalty area, and I thought there may have been a slight deflection on that, but it doesn't matter. And he is trying to make a massive case for him to stay at the club, and I still can't make my mind up. He's had a lot of goal contributions over the course of the season, and he controlled that well and finished it well. A slight deflection, I think, off the knee of the defender, and luckily we are back level, and Alfreton nervously looking over their shoulders at the moment. And they try and push forward here with Perrott, and now Fuster into Ligenza. Eames now to James Spencer, picking it up. He needs to get forward and quickly here. Stobbs hasn't got a lot of support, but he plays it to the right back, Richards. Can he get down the line? He can't, but he's found Stobbs with a lovely pass. Stobbs into the penalty area, plays it in. Spencer was there, and it's deflected wide by the defender. And imagine if we were pushing for the playoffs today, by the way. What a game this would be. A relegation threatened side, plus the playoff chasing. The pressure will be on everything. But as such, we're basically just playing for the points. And we deserve to win the game, very much so, based on the way the match stats are. But we're just struggling to break them down. They've gone very defensive. I mean, their free kick goal was absolutely outstanding. Spencer does superbly there to win the header, and Stobbs looking to get into the penalty area, lays it back into James, and now Richards. Chance to get into the penalty area. He's got so much support, and it's fallen for Stobbs, and how has he not managed to score there? It's a really good save from the keeper, but point blank range should have been 2-1, and it should have been another goal for Stubbs there. And of course, I've got a beeline for Stubbs at the minute. Like I say, he's playing for his future at the club, realistically, and that has not done him any good. And Elliott has scored again. Fuster with the corner, swung in, and Elliott scores from the header. And again, it's very much against the run of play. Poor defensively, and again, Brooks, very unconvincing goalkeeping. We need a full-size keeper. And I think, to be honest, defensively, we need a little bit more quality. But we've dominated the game. We've absolutely battered Alfreton today. But somehow they continue to hold the advantage. And tactically, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong tactically from our perspective. We've just not been able to get things right. Ambersley's not been in the game. Koike's going to come on. Fraser Harper is going to come on. Spencer's not really done an awful lot either. So Weston come on up front. And what more can we do? We're going to get Adam Barton on as well. He's still under contract as well, incidentally, the veteran midfielder. He's going to come on for Weston. Can't have him as the box-to-box, though. He'll have to be the playmaker. He's not got the energy for that anymore. Let's see if the changes can make the difference here. It's a game we should be winning for sure. I mean, they battered us earlier in the season. They had a really good run at the start. Here's Ambersley coming down the left-hand side, swings it into the penalty area. Spencer was there. It's a big error from the goalkeeper, and Owen Eames has managed to nod it in for the equaliser. Ambersley just lofting it in. The keeper launching himself and couldn't catch it, and Eames just... I mean, from a technical perspective, that was an excellent header, by the way, because the defender was right in front of him. And he's managed to just loft it just over the top of the defender there to make it 2 apiece. And can we find a way to win the game? Again, we do deserve it, but will we relegate Alfreton here? As things stand, it looks unlikely. We need to win the game for Alfreton to go down. Peterborough Sports will be hoping that we do score again. Southport are there on 42 points as well. And with just a minute to go, Alfreton just about have secured survival on goal difference. It's a massive day for them. Elliott with the brace for them from the set pieces. And in the end, we get away with it a little bit. It was a fantastic performance. We should have won the game. But realistically, considering the awful run Alfreton were on, we've got to be winning that kind of game. So to me, it's not good enough. But I mean, Steve Elliott, he scored from the corner, fair enough. But that free kick was outstanding. I don't think any keeper would have saved it. But we have managed to secure a top half finish, which, to be quite honest, given certain spells of the campaign and everything like that, I'm really, really pleased with that. It gives us something to build on. And obviously now, the hard work really begins. Their first full summer in charge at the club. The rebuild begins, ready for the next episode and season number 2. So until then, guys, thank you very much for all your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.